So we're going to be talking about a few different things relating to inclusion and how that relates to the university experience students have at McMaster. It's kind of referred to as a statistic maybe that some students experience feelings of loneliness or feeling excluded, but it's not something that we actually talk about. What importance do you place on a sense of belonging?
Sense of belonging. I definitely place a large value on the sense of belonging. I myself do a lot of welcome week stuff, so I'm really into the inclusivity. Get as many people involved, either interdisciplinary, campus involvement, extracurricular stuff like that.
I think really a feeling of belonging, especially when you're sort of at a university sort of setting. This is a very exciting time in your life. You're really sort of discovering yourself. I think a feeling of inclusion, feeling that you're part of this university community is really important to a student's success.
It's very important just for their own personal development and feeling included in, what happens on the outside of the university walls is so important in reflecting what happens on the inside.
There's so many intramurals, there's so many different avenues you can go, so I definitely try to push people, not necessarily to go a certain way, but just whatever interest they are, definitely just try to get involved.
For a student to succeed, academically and socially, I think you need a sense of belonging, and feelings of loneliness and depression sort of fall, in that for students who don't feel that they're getting the support that they need here is probably going to be very detrimental for their university experience.
Can you guys recall, do you have an early memory of first time you remember feeling excluded, or maybe first time you remember feeling excluded in a university environment?
Sure. In my third year, I was taking a upper year class. It was an elective, and I remember everyone in the class had known each other from before with the different classes that they had taken together, and the instructor seemed to know them as well, and sitting in a seminar with 30 other people was very...
First time I went to a bigger school, I was in a really rural community, so the first time I went to a bigger school, it was really weird to kind of adjust to it. So many people.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I guess, the first time I was kind of excluded, was just kind of trying to get used to a new environment.
Mm-hmm. And then, how did you feel in that situation?
Definitely kind of nervous, I think would be the best thing. It's just that it's so how do you go about entering a new environment? How do you make new friends? That kind of thing. So I think it was more nerves than anything.
I've always been a very social person and had an easier time making friends. I'm very outgoing, but sitting in that classroom and feeling very excluded. I identify as I personally have a learning disability, and because of that, because I wasn't getting any extra help, no one was reaching out to me, I felt like I was really falling behind in the classroom.
My first feeling of sort of being excluded at university is more of a social situation. I identify as gay, and sort of during my experiences, especially in first and second year, having a partner, I didn't always necessarily feel comfortable enough to, in social situations, be they formal dances or experiences at, campus nightclubs to, express the same level of affection that my straight friends might choose to do. It was not something that I sort of felt that I was capable of doing, and in a way, there was a sense of exclusion as well.
Do you think that diversity makes it easier for people to be inclusive or more difficult? Compared to, say, if you had a large group of people and they were all from the same background, had a similar life experience, that kind of thing.
So if anything, I think diversity makes it a little bit easier, just in the sense that a difference of opinion, being able to share different perspectives and life views. Part of that is going to be projected on those around you, just because you're going to be talking about your own experiences, reflecting on your own experiences. I think, were everyone to be the same, I think that would be more difficult.
I would say diversity makes it better, because you have more avenues to go in. You have more, ideas, more perspectives on things. I think that's more inclusive. You just get different perspectives on different things. So that would be my opinion, I guess. But I can see how it also make it more difficult. So.
And you also have to consider the person who might feel like the only one in the group that is different. If you have a group of all different diverse people, it's much easier. It all depends on the social situation.